the climate of what's going on with music and it being pretty much free and just AI being able to kind of mimic humans' voice, and then just pretty much the whole thing that happened with the Drake and Kendrick Lamar thing, where they were it was using Drake was using Tupac's voice and using Snoop Dogg's voice. It's just like in a time that we're in right now, it's just like as a musician, it had me thinking like, damn, they can do that. Like we could pretty much be obsolete if we keep going with this game of trying to sound like everything that's already out there, or trying to like play to the marketplace so much. You know what I mean? And get back into really making art and making music meaningful, and in my head. Not that it's not some motherfuckers out there that's making some meaningful shit, just it was a realignment for me, like I had a new mission statement, like not fuck AI, but let me use AI for what it was more so invented for. But I didn't even wind up using AI on this project, but it got me in an electronic space because the computer was on my mind. But pretty much where this album is still soulful, but I'm using a lot of industrial elements to make the music. A lot of the shit is just like slamming doors or goddamn just static out of this, stratosphere, or slips from an old tape recorder. You know what I mean? I went back to fucking tape recorders and shit. I would say this album is a combination of a lot of different periods that I went through. So there are some songs on there that I wrote in the period of pandemic. It was just all solitude and just me. But then there was the stuff that I was working on prior to pandemic, and then pandemic happened. So I'm the type of person that loves to work with people, but I found towards the end of this project, I found how fun it was to work by myself too. There's moments of all of that. And of course, being in Morocco, being in Morocco, I did do music, but I more so found myself in a visual space where I began to like paint more, coming back into a space where I'm making music again. I start to set my music up or create it in a way like a painting, I still haven't really translated that all the way, but it was very fascinating to me. And they had a lot of transient seances. It kind of hits just like how they came up with their own music based off of that struggle, and they make songs out of this, and they have these long sessions with these musicians. They sing about it all the way through, from like 5 o'clock in the afternoon all the way until 5 o'clock in the morning. And people are, it's like a trance thing. People are just like you would go to a Pentecostal church and people is falling out, catching the spirit. They're singing Islamic songs, but people is, it's, I felt like I was in a Pentecostal church. People falling out, catching the spirit, people lighting themselves on fire, the chickens is getting sacrificed. Like it's incredible. I felt like I was a kid again, like at a Pentecostal church. Like, I don't know, but just hanging out with the musicians is funny. But just hanging out with the musicians, that's where I learned about the culture of it. And I was like, what the fuck? This is just like the blues. The black Americans here in America, that went through slavery, it was kind of the, and how we built a culture around out of that, in a art form out of that pain, through soul music and gospel music. it was the same thing. You know, they were mixing cultures because some people were from Mauritania, some people were from the Sahara Desert, you know, and they all have a saint, and all of their concepts are mixed together. So it makes this nasty ass, soulful, funky shit. And I'm just sitting there all the way till 5 in the morning, just zone the fuck out. And then I go home and paint about it, you know. It just so yeah, I'm still trying to like it's coming into the music, but on a like I'd say like a spiritual side, but it hasn't really shown up all the way. Like when I do art performances now where I paint and I put together like an eclectic type of band while to play like shit while I paint, and we did one at the Friedman Gallery in New York. I got a friend of mine who from I met in Morocco. He moved out here to New York, and he's an ill Gembri player, which is their music is based off of this bass that they make out of the goat's throat, and they use the skin from the throat to make this bass, and it sounds oh my gosh, it's so nasty. But he's like from a whole line of tradition of cats that play like that. So I formed a whole like electro weird ass band around his bass, and they play like this trance music, and like I paint, I do live paint. I haven't sang with the band yet, but I think I should. Like next time we do it, I'll put a mic up and sing. But I'm like haven't even been in the space of you know what I mean, singing. I'm just like doing weird artsy shit. Fuck it. It feels good. I'm excited to play the new music and just see what it sounds like live. So I'm excited. Man, I don't know. I've collaborated with so many people. I say the last person I haven't collaborated with would be like Mad Lib. Probably. I mean, we haven't done anything. We hung out at last year at Roberts at the Blue
I know.
Note thing, Napa, and that's all we spoke about. Like, wow, we never did anything, but we were just hanging out so hard and tough. Like, we're just having a good time. I was like, we gotta do something, man. This is crazy. We got a synergy. So I would love to do that. Man, I'm planning a lot of stuff. A lot of stuff rolling around in my head. But it's been so long since I've done and put out music. And I feel like I'm in a good space creatively. So that's what I'm excited about, just creating more. Shout out everybody, just a universal shout out. Shout out. I'm shouting out loud to everyone.